looking good. Nothing quite like the smell of smoking brisket in the morning. I am a huge fan of cooking outdoors. Hell, we're building a big old outdoor kitchen out here because, well, we live in Florida and we can cook outdoors like 12 months a year. So that's how much we love cooking outdoors. And arguably, one of the best and most convenient ways to smoke meats is with a pellet smoker. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Smoking them meats, as the Zuck says. So, outdoor smokers, probably one of the most highly contested subjects amongst certain circles of people. I've seen people get in straight knockdown, drag out arguments about what type of smoker is the best one. You've got your offset camp, you got your pellet camp, you got your Kamado camp. I'm not here to debate which is the best one today. My stance on the whole subject is they all have their merits, they all have pros and cons, and hence why I have all of them. I have a pellet smoker, I have a Kamado here, and then around the side of my house I have a big offset smoker. But what we are here today to talk about is that guy right there. Now, Traeger, if you've looked into pellet grills, you've certainly heard the name Traeger. I unboxed this back a little while ago, and I have now had several months to cook on it. I've cooked tons of different stuff on it, briskets and ribs and chickens and pork butts and everything. And I'm ready now to do the full review of that guy right there, the Ironwood 885 by Traeger. The Ironwood 885 gets its name from the 885 square inches of cooking space you get on this guy. The total grill dimensions are 54 inches wide by 47 inches tall by 27 inches deep. It does have some locking caster wheels on the bottom, which is because it weighs 175 pounds, so if it didn't have that, it would not be a fun guy to jostle around your backyard. Like I mentioned, it does have 885 square inches of grill space that is divided up on 2 racks. Now, the 2 racks, the top and bottom are both adjustable. The top rack, the smaller of the two, has kind of a little bit of a frontward and backward adjustability, and the bottom rack has a few inches of up and down adjustability. So whether or not you want to sear something and put it on like the lower level, or whether you raise it up a few inches if you're smoking. Now, as far as the pellet hopper on this guy goes, it is a nice one. It has a sensor in it so that you can keep an eye on where your pellet levels are, and it holds a full 20-pound bag of pellets, which I found is really convenient for those longer cooks. I can run this thing all night long. If I top the hopper off before I go to bed, there is no risk of running out of pellets after a long cook. I get up in the morning and I've usually still got at least 50% of the pellets left. So it's really nice to have that nice large hopper for those longer cooks. If you want to change your pellets, say you're doing hickory and you want to change to oak or vice versa or whatever, my old smoker, I used to have to scoop them out, which is kind of the pain in the ass. This one's got a nice little door on the back that you just swing open, put a bucket down below, all your pellets dump out, so you can change your pellets out easy without having to do all the scooping. You will notice that this smoker has no chimney, and that's because the Traeger has its own proprietary exhaust system on this guy they call the downdraft exhaust. And what that does is help with smoke production and convection to help the smoke really circulate around the chamber, make sure you're getting good and even cooking. It does come standard with a very nice control panel, really user-friendly, easy to use, nice little dial to adjust your temperature and whatnot, and an input for a probe, which it also comes with one probe, and a probe and a probe port on the side of the smoker so that you can put the probe right through that port and you don't have to smash the wire in the door, which can A, damage your probe, and B, create like leaks. This grill also has a very nice oven gasket around the bottom edge, which my old smoker, that is where I used to get a lot of smoke leaks. It's running right now, 0 smoke leaking out of that guy. Really nice seal on this one. As far as capacity goes, it's more than ample for any cooking I've ever done. Traeger officially states the capacity at 10 chickens or 7 racks of ribs or 9 pork butts. So that's a whole lot of meat. Right now I've got about a 14-pound brisket on it, and you could easily fit 2 of those on there with no problem, one on the top rack, one on the bottom, and then maybe some other stuff around the side. I've never personally run out of room on that thing. Another thing that I really liked about Traeger, and if you watch my unboxing I talked about it, is just the attention to detail. There's just little things that make it very, very nice, like the hopper dump on it, and everything about the unboxing experience is really nice. It's got a little rack on the back so that when you take the top rack out, it has a space for you to hang that top rack on the back, so you don't just have a top rack laying around on the floor somewhere. So it's just little things like that that I think Traeger does really, really well, and it's one of the things I appreciate about their grills. It does have a really nice little stainless steel side table that it comes with. It's got 3 little hooks on there for you to hang your utensils. If you notice, I do have a big shelf on the front of this thing. That is not included, but later on in the video, we're gonna talk about accessories that I recommend for it, and that's one of them. We'll talk about that later in the video. The sides are double insulated, which is gonna help you with maintaining your temperature a little better, or if you're smoking in colder temperatures, helping to be more effective at maintaining temperature. The Traeger will go from 165 up to 505 degree increments, which is nice. 165 is very low and slow cooking, all the way up to 500, which allows you to get a nice sear, which is nice because some pellet smokers don't go to 500. Now, some people argue, oh, 500, you can't get a good sear on Traeger. 500 is not hot enough to sear. I would argue that is not totally accurate. The whole Maillard, I believe is how they pronounce it, reaction is around the 300, 350 degrees up to 500 is what people say is the optimal temperature for searing. That is where you get that Maillard reaction, you get the proper caramelization of the sugars and all the things that happen in the meat that give you that nice crust. Anything over that can give you kind of a burnt, acrid, nasty flavor. So when people say 500 isn't hot enough to sear, I don't know, I'm not here to debate that, but all the literature I've ever read says that 350 to 500 is about that happy zone for searing, and this guy will go up to 500. So as far as I've seen, that's more than ample. Let's take a quick break and check this guy real quick. I think she's getting real close to wrap. Let's see. Oh yeah, she's looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Not quite, almost there. She's almost ready to wrap, not quite. Very close though. While we're here though, before we get back to talking about the smoker, let's take a quick second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Traeger Coffee. Now you guys have heard me talk about Traeger on many videos before. I take my coffee as seriously as I take my smoking. And the problem is when you're looking to get like really good specialty coffee, at least in my area, I don't have a lot of great places to get that, but with Traeger you can get some of the best specialty coffees from all around the nation delivered right to your door without ever having to leave the house. It's fantastic. It's as simple as 3 easy steps. First, you're gonna go to the website and take the quiz. You're gonna answer questions about what you like in coffee, and Traeger will curate matches just for you. Next, you choose the frequency of your delivery, and boom, awesome, freshly roasted coffee pops up right at your door. This particular one is Broad Street Coffee Roasters, is what I'm drinking today. Notes of milk chocolate, shortbread, and pear. It's really, really good. I don't know if I taste the pear, but it's definitely chocolatey, and I like a chocolatey coffee. Really, really good stuff. After that, you get done drinking your coffee, you can go back, rate it on their website, and that just helps Traeger further curate and make sure they're sending you the best matches for your taste buds. It all ships to your door within 24 hours of being roasted, so you can make sure you're gonna get coffee in peak freshness, not some old stale shit that's been on a shelf for 6 months like in your local grocery store. They also have a satisfaction guarantee, so once you drink your coffee, if you didn't enjoy it, you just let Traeger know and they'll send you a different bag of something else for free until you get it nailed down. And Traeger's got a special deal for my peeps. For the first 100 of you guys that click the link down below, you're gonna get 50% off your first bag and free shipping. So all you're gonna do is click that link down below, fill out the quiz, and then enter code JSires50, and that'll get you your 50% off and free shipping on your first bag. So give it a try, it's good stuff. Satisfaction guaranteed. I mean, who doesn't love coffee? All right, so let's get back to smokers. Gotta give this guy a little bit longer before we wrap. So while we do that, let's go over some more of the features of the 8A5. Next, arguably my favorite part of this guy, the Wi-Fi and app functionality. Okay, so Wi-Fi and app. You're gonna say, Is that really necessary? Well, no, I mean, it's not necessary. I mean, there's a lot of things that aren't necessary, but they're awesome. I mean, is Netflix necessary? No, but it's awesome. I'm just saying. Is having a huge gun collection necessary? No, but it's awesome. You can be away from the house and you can control everything right from here. Like at night, I'll be upstairs having a cigar and watching a little Netflix. I need to check on my stats of what I'm smoking. I can do it right here from the app. You could be at work, away from home, out shopping, doing whatever. You can monitor what's going on, change the temperature, do all the things right from your phone, which is what rolls into this whole, I say, there isn't a more convenient way to smoke stuff than on this Traeger. Not only is it just a great smoker and produces great stuff, but the convenience factor with this app is just next level. So the Wi-Fi app, very clever by the way, Wi-Fi, I like it. If you go into here, you'll see that obviously you've got your smoker's name. I named mine Smokey and the Brisket. If you don't get that reference, then we can't be friends. This app is really well designed. It's well laid out. It's very user friendly. Whoever designed this app, bang up job. But right here from the app, you can see you've got your grill temperature. It was what your grill is currently at. You've got what I'm set at, the probe that I've got in the brisket over there. I've got what the goal is and what the current temperature is. You got a timer you can set down below. You've got your pellet readout for your pellet hopper, let you know how many pellets you got. You can go to keep warm, super smoke, or shut it down right from here. Now the super smoke, I've got that running right now. You can run that under 225 degrees. And what that does is, I don't know if you can tell, you can hear it, but it pulses the fan on and off and it creates the most smoke. For you guys that say pellet smokers don't get a smoky enough flavor, if you throw super smoke on, it really, really produces a nice smoky flavor for a pellet grill. Not only that, but if you close this out and you go into just their normal app here, you can see there are all these different creators you can follow. Matt Pittman, by the way, Meat Church, lots of great recipes. That guy, I follow him, fantastic stuff. Really good rubs too. If you've never checked out his rubs, fantastic. A huge library of recipes. And not only are the recipes in here, but if you select the recipe, it automatically preloads all the recipe parameters onto your grill. So all the temperatures and the times and everything, you just boop, loads it right on there, so you don't even have to put that stuff in. It is fantastic. Great stuff. And like I said, the ability to change it. Like for instance, I want to speed this up. I've been running this a little low and slow thus far because I want to make sure that brisket gets some nice smoky flavor, but I want to go ahead and change the temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and bump her up to 250, confirm, and plow. It's going to bump me up to 250, and if you notice down here under super smoke, that went off because anything above 225 you can't do super smoke. Point is, I could have been away from the house out doing something at the local cigar lounge, having a little smoke with some buddies, and decided I wanted to speed my brisket cook up. Bump up the temperature, you're good to know. I got my probe in there. It's going to let me know if it gets to temp. I can go ahead and put it on keep warm. I have that set so it doesn't go over 170, but really I look at where the bark's at, and anywhere between 160 and 170 when my bark is right is when I wrap. But I have that set to 170 just so I know I don't want to go over that before I wrap. But anyway, I could check all this from anywhere. It's great. And I know you offset guys are saying, yeah, nothing's as good as offset. Yeah, but when I offset smoke, which I enjoy doing, I have to sit there and feed logs on that thing all day. And while sometimes that's enjoyable, and I get that, and sometimes that's a thing, you want to sit around and smoke all day and drink beer, great. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just want a brisket or pork butt for dinner, and you don't want to have to tend a smoker all day. I can carry about my business as normal and still turn out a fantastic brisket at the end of the day. Now they did send me the smoker for free for review, but I was not paid a penny to say anything nice. They have no creative control over this video, and I can say whatever I like. And if it was a turd, I would say it. Actually, if it was a turd, I would have just told Traeger to take their grill back and I wouldn't have done the video because I wouldn't have wasted my time shooting all this and editing all this if I didn't enjoy it. Now, just to be a straight shooter, pros and cons of this thing. You know, the cons of pellet smoker are what people say about all pellet smokers. The fact that, you know, you don't get quite as smoky of a flavor out of a pellet smoker as you would on like maybe a Kamado or an offset. I would say with the super smoke, that is not necessarily as true as historically it was with some older pellet smokers. I think the super smoke mode really goes a long way to getting you damn close to what you get on any other kind of offset or stick burner. If you're the type of person that doesn't like super smoky meat, a lot of people don't like stuff on offsets or Kamados because the smoke flavor is a little too much for them. Some of that is people not smoking the meat correctly. If you don't burn a good clean fire, your meat can get a little acrid and bitter. But some of that is people just don't like real smoky flavor. My wife actually prefers stuff cooked on the Traeger over stuff cooked on the offset. Now, I'm not saying that's everybody. I'm just saying some people prefer it. So the smoke thing could be a con, but again, it could be a pro depending on the way you look at it. The only other con I can think of is the fact that they're not the cheapest things in the world. There are other smokers out there for cheaper. You know, you get what you pay for. In my opinion, the price that they charge for these things, for the quality and the fit and finish and the product and the kind of technology that goes in with the exhaust system they're using and how accurate it keeps the temperature and all the app and the whole thing, I think it's well worth the price tag. But just full disclosure, they're not the cheapest things in the world. So some might consider that a con. The one accessory that I think everybody should just immediately buy for this thing when you get it is the folding front table. I don't know if you can see on there, but there's a large front shelf on the front of this. That does not come with it from the factory. That is an accessory you can purchase, but it also does fold down very nice and easily and flat for storage and pops up for when you want to have some nice working space. When you're taking stuff on and off the grill, it's nice to be able to have a good flat area to put stuff on. I really enjoy it. I have a magnetic wood chopping block that goes on the pellet hopper. I love that thing. It's actually really cool because it's all bamboo, but there's a magnet embedded in there somewhere, so it like sticks to the top of that pellet hopper, so you don't have to worry about it sliding around. Lastly, they have this huge ass spatula that I love. I think it's great. It's a huge, I mean, the biggest spatula you've ever seen. And it makes it really nice for, you know, taking off big racks of ribs or big pork butts or whole chickens when, you know, you need to get those off and they're, you know, been on the smoker, so sometimes they're a little tender and they're trying to fall apart. That gives you a nice big spatula to get up under those things and get them off the grill without the whole thing falling apart on you. So those are the ones. I have a bunch of other accessories, but those are the ones that I really like and I use the most. We got a little more smoking to do. We can't close out a video reviewing a smoker without showing you the final product of the brisket that I've been smoking. A lot of times you do this offset smoker, you're spending a lot of time at night getting up and checking that fire, or you're getting up real early in the morning and then tending that fire all day. I put this guy on last night and I went to sleep. Yeah, that's right. I was up till about 1 or 2 in the morning editing, slapped this guy on before I came to bed, set my temperatures, got a good night's sleep. If there's no better argument for a pellet smoker than that, I don't know what is. Quality brisket after a good night's sleep. The struggle is real with checking a smoker all night long and being tired as hell. All you guys that are diehard offset guys, just something to be thought about. It's all I'm trying to say. Just something to consider. I'm not saying I don't love an offset, just saying there's a place for all this stuff. Another brisket successful on the Traeger. Overall, I would say, again, it turned out great. Passes the, I don't know what they call this. I'm gonna call it the limp test. I mean, it's a little aggressive, but I mean, do you guys have a better name for it? I mean, I'm just saying. But it passes that. It's good and tender, pulls right apart. Juicy, the fat rendered well. I mean, the smoke ring is great. So anybody who says you can't get good smoke from a pellet grill, I mean, there's a big solid smoke ring there. My wife doesn't particularly love brisket, which is almost grounds for divorce. She said she actually liked this brisket better than the last one I did on the offset. Did you not? Correct. Correct. So I think it's a toss up. I've had really great brisket on offset. I've had really great briskets on Traegers. Traeger can produce some really awesome barbecue and it's super convenient. Like I got a good night's sleep last night. So there's that. I'm not even going to attempt to lie to you guys and pretend like it's the same day because it's not, it's the next day. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I got that full belly of brisket, I had a nice pour of whiskey, and I got super chill. I just didn't want to record anymore. Sorry, not sorry. So it's the next day, but it's bright out here and it's hot. So let's wrap this baby up quick before I start sweating. Goddamn pterodactyl just landed on my camera, Jesus. I know the comments are gonna be crazy on this video probably because I have come to the conclusion that barbecue guys are just as bad as the Apple versus PC guys or whiskey or bourbon versus Scotch guys. You all have very strong opinions about the type of smoker you like to use and the brand of smoker you like to use, and you all think you're right. So I'm sure there's gonna be some interesting comments and debates down in the comments, but nevertheless, I did wanna just show you guys and do the full review of this Ironwood 885 because like I said, I have been using it and I think it is a great grill. If you're in the market for a pellet grill, definitely check the good folks at Traeger out. Big thank you to the folks at Traeger for sending this out to me for review. Also, big thanks to the folks at Trade Coffee for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. And again, I'll put a little link right here where you can go and get 50% off that first bag and free shipping. So, hope all this stuff has been helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to smash that like button. That always helps us out. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. We'd love to have you aboard. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week. And we will see you in the next video. Next up, I think we're gonna actually try to help settle some of the debates on smoking. Maybe we'll do a smoke off. I'll do some ribs on the Traeger, then I'll do some ribs on the Kamado, and I'll do some ribs on the offset. And we'll have a taste off. I guarantee there's gonna be at least one comment saying they like Pit Boss is better, or they like Rectex better, or saying why their brand of pellet smoker is the superior brand.